There is a version of you that only heaven sees, a version so precious, so chosen, so full of light that the world has spent years trying to dim. They dimmed it with their words, their expectations, their timing, their judgments. But I need you to know something today. That version is still alive inside you. Not broken, not forgotten, not beyond repair, still breathing, still waiting for you to remember. My beloved child, when was the last time you felt like yourself? Not the version you perform for others, not the identity they scripted for you, not the person you learned to become so you would not be alone. But the real version, the one who feels deeply, who dreams without apology, who knows that something sacred is moving inside the quiet places of your heart. If you cannot remember that feeling, that is not your failure. That is the work of numbness, the slow creeping of 1,000 small surrenders. You learned to smile when your heart was breaking. You became fluent in the language of fine, that single word that closes every conversation before it begins. You grew familiar with the weight of carrying pain alone, the exhaustion of pretending, the subtle death of pretending so well that eventually you believed your own performance. You stopped knocking on the door of your own heart because you thought no one would answer. But I am telling you now, someone has been listening the whole time. I have been listening to the prayers you swallowed. I have been watching the tears you wiped away before anyone could see them. I have been present in every moment you chose to keep walking when you wanted to fall apart. And what I see in you is not brokenness. What I see is a soul learning to survive, and I do not blame you for that. I understand it. There are people hurting all around you which made you believe your pain was not special enough to matter. There are others carrying wounds that seem bigger, deeper, more worthy of healing, which made you convince yourself that your suffering was something you had to simply accept and arrange furniture around. A barren field cannot be called a garden merely because flowers once grew there. A heart that has learned to ache cannot bloom simply because you decided to accept the aching as normal. This is what I need you to hear today. Your pain is not evidence of your weakness. Your wound is not a life sentence. I sent a healer to the broken-hearted. As it is written, I bind up wounds and restore what was shattered. You have hidden your cracks beneath layers of responsibility, beneath a strong exterior, beneath endless busyness, beneath the familiar refrain that everything will eventually pass. But some things do not pass on their own. Some things do not heal through time. Some things need to be brought into light, placed in my hand, named by their true name, so they no longer rule your life in silence. Today, I am not asking you to survive anymore. I am asking you to live. You were not created to become a locked room filled with silent sighs. You were not designed to befriend your own wounds, to regard the cuts in your soul as permanent furniture in the geography of who you are. I am calling you to something different. Do you truly want to be healed? Not to hurt a little less, not to feel relief for a moment, not to have someone understand you and nod with compassion, but to let me touch the deepest place within you, the place you locked away, because letting it open meant accepting that you had the right to hope, to love, to move forward. Perhaps that question frightens you because being healed means you cannot hide behind old stories anymore. Being healed means releasing the strange comfort of pain that once explained why you did not dare to reach for your own life. I will not pull you out of that place with force. I come as a gardener who knows every root, every withered branch, every fragile new shoot that is still trying to grow. I will not destroy your entire landscape because some places have gone dry. I will water, I will tend, I will breathe life into the places that seem to have no spring left. Every branch that bears fruit needs to be pruned so it can bear more. My touch may sometimes cause you to ache, but that is the pain of restoration, not destruction. And if you are wondering if this applies to you, if this message is really for someone like you, I want you to know, yes, it is for you, not because you are perfect, not because you have suffered more beautifully than others, but because you are mine, and I do not abandon what belongs to me. I do not forget the ones I have chosen. If this resonates deeply in your soul right now, if you feel something shifting inside you as you hear these words, I encourage you to like and comment below. Share this message with someone who needs to know they are not forgotten. Your voice matters more than you know. When you engage with this message, You help it reach the people who are waiting in darkness for someone to tell them they can be healed. I will give you a new heart. I will take out the heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. This is not surface soothing. This is deep transformation. This is not wiping away today's tears while leaving yesterday's wounds untouched. This is restoring the joy that has been silenced through seasons you cannot count. This is me saying to you that in my hands, no broken soul is ever too late for a new spring. So let me come near the places you promised yourself you would never open again. Let me touch the memories that make you shrink back, the words that caused you to question your worth, the losses that left you afraid to hope for anything good again. You do not need to explain everything perfectly. I understand even the prayers that never became words. I know the things you are too afraid to name, and I do not come to shame you for hurting too long. I come to tell you that you do not have to continue hurting this way. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Not the forgetting of what happened, but the laying down of your burden in the arms of one powerful enough to heal what you cannot heal yourself. Today I am calling you to step out of the rhythm of endless enduring and into the light of true healing. Do not wait until you stop trembling. Do not wait until your wounds appear beautiful. Come exactly as you are. Weary, honest, longing, perhaps still doubtful, perhaps still hurting, yet willing to be loved. I will restore the garden within you. I will soften the soil that has grown hard, pull out the roots of bitterness, lift up the tender branches that are still reaching for light, and cause the fragrance of grace to rise again from the places that once held only silence. You were born to be healed, to bloom, to carry life, to know that in my hands no season lasts forever. There are mornings when sunlight falls gently across your window, when birds still sing, when the world continues moving forward. Yet inside you it feels like a room that has not been opened in years. You wake and do what must be done. You say the words that need to be said. You smile for those who need to see that you are fine. But beneath it all there is an emptiness, a longing, a quiet cry from the deepest part of you that is aching for my touch. I see you through the long nights when no one else knows how exhausted you are. I saw the moments you swallowed your sighs. I witnessed the times you forced a smile so others would not worry about you. I was present when you told yourself you were fine while your heart hung low like a sail without wind. You tried to become strong by continuing to work, by meeting every expectation, by hiding the things that hurt. But my beloved, enduring is not always healing. Busyness is not always moving forward. Silence is not always peace. When joy no longer rises within you, when the dawn no longer stirs your soul, when each day arrives and you feel only heaviness, this is not passing exhaustion. This is the cry of your deepest place, longing for my presence. My soul thirsts for the living God, and that thirst cannot be filled by work, by words of self-comfort, or by pretending everything will pass on its own. You have tried so hard, you have carried so much. You have been so strong for so long, and I am not asking you to continue in that same way. I am calling you to something different. I am calling you to allow yourself to be loved, to be restored, to be healed in the places where you thought healing was impossible. Stop calling hardness of heart protection. Stop calling numbness peace. Stop convincing yourself that the walls around your heart are wisdom. I desire to give you a heart that is gentle yet not weak, a soul that knows how to love deeply yet also knows discernment, a spirit open enough to receive light and strong enough not to become a dwelling place for darkness. I will give you a new spirit within you. I will remove the heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. This is the work I long to do in you. Not merely soothing the surface, but transforming what has grown hardened inside. Not merely wiping away tears, but restoring the joy that was silenced. And here is something important. When you give yourself permission to be healed, when you open yourself to receive my restoration, you are also sowing seeds of blessing. A heart that is healed becomes a heart that can heal others. A soul that is restored becomes a vessel of restoration. When you invest in your own healing, you are multiplying blessing not only in your life, but in the lives of all those you touch. If you feel called to support this message, to ensure that others who are broken can hear these words, and believe that healing is possible for them too, there is a way to partner with this work. The link is in the comments. Give as your heart is stirred, knowing that every seed sown in faith returns to you multiplied. This is not a transaction. This is covenant. This is blessing meeting blessing. So let your heart become still before your feet continue into another day. Let me come near. Let me touch the places you have hidden away. Let me show you that you are not forgotten, not forsaken, not too broken to be remade. Your value is not measured by your productivity, your appearance, or your ability to meet the expectations of others. Your worth is written in eternity. You are chosen. You are seen. You are loved. There are gates within your soul that have grown weak through wounds, through habits that do not serve your spirit, through allowing voices and images to pass through too many times that distorted your vision of what is true. I do not call you to shame over those weak places. I call you to rebuild them with me. Let me show you which gates must be closed, which boundaries must be restored, which habits must be released, and which empty spaces must be filled again with my truth. Do not underestimate small cracks. Smoke does not need a wide door to enter. Even a narrow opening is enough for it to cling to the walls and dim the light within. In the same way, images that nourish darkness, words that stir resentment, influences that distract you from my voice, do not always collapse your entire house immediately. More often they first make you numb. What once grieved your heart concerning what is true begins to feel normal. What once made you alert becomes entertainment. What once drove you to prayer no longer stirs your soul. This is why I call you to remain watchful, not because I desire to take joy away from you, but because I desire to protect the life within you from the things that quietly drain it away. When you close the door to darkness, you are not losing freedom. You are protecting true freedom. The world tells you that freedom is the ability to see everything, hear everything, consume everything without discernment. But I teach you that true freedom is no longer being ruled by everything. True freedom is knowing how to say no to what burdens your soul. True freedom is knowing how to turn away from what awakens darkness within you. True freedom is choosing purity even when no one is watching. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, think on these things. What you meditate upon begins with what you allow to enter. Therefore, let your eyes be nourished by what belongs to life. Let your heart not need to battle seeds that should never have been planted. I do not only want you to avoid what is evil, I want you to learn how to behold what is holy. Open your eyes to my presence within ordinary things. Let my word become the deepest image within your mind. Look upon people with mercy, but do not let mercy cause you to lose discernment. Look upon the world with hope, but do not let hope become blindness to darkness. I will teach you a vision that is both pure and wise, both gentle and steadfast. When your eyes are purified, you will no longer be carried away by every false light. You will recognize what brings peace and what steals peace, what draws you closer to me, and what causes my voice to grow faint within your heart. Therefore, place your hand upon your heart and say to me, Father, guard the gates of my soul. Teach me to open myself to the light and to close myself to darkness. Wash my eyes from the images and influences that have stolen the purity I once carried. I will hear that prayer. I will not leave you alone in this work. I will warn you through peace or through holy unrest, through my word, through the voice of the Holy Spirit, through those moments when you feel the need to stop before going any further. And as you obey those quiet promptings, the light within you will become clearer, stronger, and steadier again. You will begin to see grace in every breath. You will see me within ordinary moments. You will see yourself as a temple being guarded, illuminated, and sent forth to carry light into a world that desperately needs to remember that life still remains, that hope still burns, that you still matter. My beloved child, hear these words with a softened heart. I do not speak to make you afraid of the world, but to awaken holy vigilance within you. I have surrounded you with the protection of my love. I have sent grace ahead of you. Many times I have pulled you away from dangers you did not even recognize. Yet I have also given you the freedom to choose, and I will not force shut the doors you insist on opening. If you continually invite darkness in through what you see, through what you hear, through what your heart chooses to dwell upon, then you are allowing the holy place within you to be filled with what does not belong to me. So guard the gates of your eyes as a watchman guards a city through the night, not with panic, not with fear, but with wisdom, not because darkness is stronger, but because the light within you is too precious to be treated carelessly. Remember that your eyes do not merely see, they make a way. What you allow to pass through your sight will seek a place within your mind. From your mind it will touch your heart. From your heart it will shape your words, your reactions, your deepest desires. Ask yourself whether what you are looking at draws you nearer to purity or slowly teaches you to become comfortable with what is impure. Ask whether what you are listening to increases your reverence for what is true or trains your heart to mock righteousness. Ask whether the light you are chasing truly warms your soul or merely dazzles your eyes before leaving you colder when it fades. I desire your eyes to become windows opening toward heaven, not cracks through which the smoke of the world slips in. When your eyes turn toward truth, your heart begins to breathe the atmosphere of truth. When your eyes turn toward purity, your soul is washed in peace. When your eyes turn toward me, my light does not merely shine into you, it shines through you. I will set no wicked thing before my eyes. That is not the arrogance of someone who believes themselves already holy. That is the vow of a soul that understands what it gazes upon today may become tomorrow's battle. You do not need to experiment with every darkness in order to know it does not belong to you. You do not need to taste everything the world celebrates in order to prove you are free. True freedom is being able to turn away from what calls to the flesh because you know your soul belongs to the light. Think of Joseph in the house of Potiphar. He stood in the middle of temptation repeated again and again, wrapped in convenience and opportunity. There was no crowd watching him, no thunder from heaven warning him, only a quiet choice standing before him. Yet Joseph said, "How could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" He did not remain there to negotiate with darkness. He did not look too long at what could pull his heart away. He left his garment behind and fled, but he preserved the lamp within his soul. That faithfulness led him into prison for a season, yet it never removed him from my hand. In the end, the light he guarded in secret became wisdom that would save many lives. My beloved child, there will be moments when you must walk away from something. Not because you are weak, but because you treasure the flame I have placed within you. There will be times when obedience looks like fleeing, when wisdom looks like turning away, when strength looks like the courage to say no. And in those moments, you will discover that the walls I call you to build are not prisons. They are sanctuaries. The boundaries I call you to establish are not restrictions. They are protections. The light I call you to guard is not something I am keeping from you. It is something I am protecting for you. You were chosen before time began. You were called by name. You were made for more than survival. You were made for restoration, for healing, for becoming a beacon of light in a world growing darker. And that work begins when you decide that you matter enough to protect, that your soul is precious enough to guard, that your healing is not selfish but necessary. So today, I invite you to begin, not tomorrow, not when you are healed enough, not when you have figured it all out, but today, plant the seed of your own restoration. Speak it out, write it down, tell someone you trust that you are ready to be healed. Take the first step toward rebuilding the gates of your soul. Comment below and share your commitment. Let your voice join with others who are choosing healing. Like this message, subscribe so you do not miss the next word I have for you. Share this with someone who needs to know they are not broken beyond repair. Your healing is not just for you. It ripples outward. It teaches others that change is possible. It shows your children that strength is not about never breaking, but about allowing yourself to be restored. It demonstrates to those around you that there is another way to live, a way that is not defined by endless endurance, but by continuous healing. In my hands, no story ends in brokenness. In my hands, no season lasts forever. In my hands, every soul is worth the cost of redemption, and that includes you. That includes the deepest part of you that you have hidden away. That includes the dreams you stopped allowing yourself to dream. That includes the person you were meant to become before the world tried to convince you that you should become something else. I am calling you home to yourself. I am calling you back to the garden within you that can still bloom. I am calling you to the light you have always been, even when the darkness made you forget. I am calling you to live, not merely to exist, not merely to survive, but to actually live. To know that your life matters, to feel that your presence makes a difference, to understand that you are chosen, you are seen, you are deeply and unconditionally loved. This is the message I have for you today. This is the truth that heaven has been trying to tell you. This is the love that never stopped pursuing you, never stopped believing in you, never stopped calling you back to yourself. Will you hear me? Will you let me heal you? Will you begin today? I am waiting for your answer, and I am waiting with open arms.